Today I get to drive this car. Yeah. Welcome back to another video of RRR. Today we are going to review the 2014 manufactured Subaru Impreza WRX. So since we're at the back, let's take a look at the boot. So what are the key differences between this model and the previous models, the 02, 05, 07, is that actually the boot space is much larger. Different shaping also allows for more storage. Okay, they also got one really cool feature here, is if you get caught or kidnapped in the car, this icon teaches you how to escape just by pulling the lever. Let's look under the hood. So for the 2014 manufactured Subaru Impreza WRX, they stopped production for this model of car for the EJ series engines, which we all love. What we are hearing from the owner is that actually the FA20 does not have the same exhaust notes that we are also used to with the unequal exhaust. You know, whether you change to unequal or not, you just won't get that same boxer feel anymore, even though this is still a FA20 Boxer 4. So for this car, right, it actually comes standard with the Gerald built twin scroll ball bearing water cooled turbo, which is well, I believe some of the Continental cars are using it now, but for JDMs this could be a kind of new tech to cool the turbo. A lot of times we get bearing expansion, then the bearing starts to disintegrate and all that, and we do not want that on the track. So previously the Subarus came standard with water cooled oil coolers, you know, where it comes as a oil adapter attachment which connects to the radiator coolant. That helps to cool the engine oil, but now they use it to cool the turbo. The other changes is actually that the oil filter has been placed on the top. It seems that the oil cooler, the water cooled oil cooler that comes standard with even the 07 models, it's still there. So now you're using two different modes to cool down the car, but you still only have one radiator. So whether that's efficient or not in terms of cooling wise, we won't really know. However, if the water temp goes up, everything else goes up. So this car has also been modified with the radium oil catch can, the Process West black intercooler. So Process West and other few intercooler manufacturers, they actually think that the painting it black should reduce the heat level, because black, you know, disperses heat or whatsoever that they think of. But I've still not seen any information whether that's real or not, but the logic is definitely there. It's definitely there. Also, it comes with handling wise, the Blitz WZ2R spec DSR coilovers. So these are electronically adjustable, similar to your Tian EDFC. Who knows, it could be better, because I saw a Japanese video calling it WZ2R. But we shall see later in the drive. Okay, so Subaru, the manual actually states that your lug nut should be tightened to 89 foot-pounds minimum. So as you know, most tyre shops use the impact gun. It actually tightens it up to about 130. So this standard of 89 foot-pounds is been tested by one of our friends before on the 07, which he was using about 85 foot-pounds for that model as specified after he emailed to Subaru Japan. So he's guaranteed that 85 foot-pounds, the wheel does not come off even on track days. But even at 89 foot-pounds, to us we feel that if you're manually removing the lug nuts, it can be a bit loose, you can get a bit scared. But this actually protects the wheel studs, the threads of the wheel studs, because one wheel stud can be quite costly. I think I've heard that the 07 Subaru can cost up to $70 per wheel stud just to replace it. So you do not want to be wearing out those threads. I think a good indicator will be tightening up to 100, 110. Even though it might not seem very tight to you, you can trust the manufacturer. Okay, so now we're going for a drive in the 2014 manufactured Subaru WRX. Why I keep saying that is because it was registered in 2015. So this car actually comes with 264 bhp on crank. The torque is 350 Newton meters, thereabouts. So this owner has actually modified it with also the extended pedal shifters. Okay, did you see? And it is the automatic, so it's running on the CVT. The CVT actually has it actually functions 6 or 8 speeds. If you're running on the sports mode, it's only 6 speeds. If you're running on the Sports Intelligent, it's still 6 speeds. However, you change to the Sport Sharp, which since the 2008 STIs, although they were manual, they already had the Sport Sharp mode. For this particular car, it has 8 speeds instead of 6, just by a push of a button. Sounds like the M series of BMWs, you know, increasing more horsepower, but this one gives you more gears. Physically more gears. So now we're actually looking at one of the settings here, which as I turn the wheel, it also turns with. So this is Sports Intelligent. Oh, that Gerald. Yeah, twin scroll, definitely. Very, very quick spooling. But the turbo doesn't blow off until you release the throttle, so it's very different from a manual where whenever you clutch in, I mean, you naturally release the throttle, so it keeps on blowing off. So I think this one you can judge it that is similar to an Golf GTI, I guess, because when you use the DSGs also, it does not blow off until you release the throttle. So now we're going to try the Sport Sharp mode. See if there's a big difference between the 3 different settings. Whoa. Okay, so on the Sport Sharp, it blows off, the blow-off valve releases at every gear that you switch out slight release. But I think the peak boost is also higher. Okay, so considering that I'm a purist for manual transmission vehicles, I think this Subaru with its CVT transmission is actually not too bad. I mean, if you use the pedal shifters, it feels like any other automatic transmission. Not the same as your, you know, typical CVTs. Like, but there I was always wondering why Subaru would make the Impreza WRX in automatic, let alone CVT transmission, and I think that they actually got this one right. Yeah, because I don't think it ever gets any better than that. Yeah, does not get better than that. Gear shifts actually are similar in time to the DSG, or in fact slightly faster, unless you go and tune your Volkswagen vehicle or DSG transmission to shift more aggressively. But other than that, for the price range of this car, although a bit on the high side brand new, when it was released brand new, I think that the CVT does help a lot of drivers that nowadays may not want to take manual licenses and so on and so forth, but you still want to have fun in the car. This is still a cheap, relatively cheap fun car with more tech involved. The tech is never going to be as high as a Volkswagen, where you have 4 different wheel sensors. One of them spoils, you got to replace all 4 just to figure out which one. Or it could even be, it could be another sensor completely that's faulting, that's giving a fault code of one of the wheel sensors. Which we've heard a lot of stories about the Volkswagens being like that. So I think all in all, the Subaru is still quite mechanical, other than all the new perks and features of the interior, making it look much better. Okay, so one of the key differences between the newer models and the older models. It's always new tech and all that. However, this CVT uses 13.5 liters of CVT oil, which CVT oil is in fact very pricey, and most of the time the vehicle manual will state that you should use the original branded one, which for Subaru, which means you use the Subaru one. For Nissan, use the Nissan CVT brand oil, just for safety reasons, because if that gearbox were to break, you're paying upwards of $8,000 over dollars, including the shipping in and the labor, just to replace a CVT gearbox. So manual gearbox on the other hand, right, you just replace the synchros, you replace the gears if they shatter. All in all, you're still spending much less than a full replacement of automatic transmission, whether CVT, DSG being the most expensive, or okay lah, PDK is the most expensive one, I think, because of the brand. But other than that, the manual transmission for a 6-speed Subaru of the same year as this model would only use 3.5 liters of gearbox oil, whereas this one uses 13.5 liters. The front differential uses 1 liter. The rear differential uses less than a liter, about 800 mLs, which is the same as all the other Subaru models, front and rear diff, you know, and then the gearbox oil replacement. So 13.5 liters of CVT oil really is very expensive, and you're replacing it every 30,000-40,000, you know, just for safety reasons. I've not seen or heard of any CVT gearbox so far that uses more than 10, except for this one. But that could be me being out of touch with the modern day cars. Okay, so now I'm going to test the WRX's handling, you know, with the Blitz ZZR Spec DSC coilovers with the Sports Shark mode. One of the key things is that it's actually very hard to half throttle. As with most turbo cars, the turbo either wants to let off or it wants to go again. So for this case, I think maybe the automatic systems or the ECU, right, automatically relieves the door valve even just by releasing the throttle slightly. So that means I lose all of that turbo pressure that has been built up. Okay, so one thing I forgot to note earlier is actually that the FA20 uses a timing chain, not like the standard EJ series which all run on timing belts. For those that do not know the popularity of the boxer engine being stable and all that, however, one of the biggest flaws is that it runs on the belt. The belt is only a flaw if you do not know exactly what you're doing. When you buy a Subaru, you do not know how to maintain, when to maintain, or how to upkeep. You know, you may not be the one that's upkeeping, but you still have to know the intervals. So timing belts for the EJ series are typically changed every 80,000 to 100,000 kilometers, whereas because this is running on a timing chain, you are worry-free. So if you were to change from a certain car brand to a Subaru that's using the FA20, you do not have that big of a culture shock, because you do not know exactly what or how to maintain it or when to maintain. So this in turn helps. But I still think all in all, the EJ257 on the STI models, this already tells you that that is the better car, and the STI did not cheap out on the brake kit. They did not try to set it as an option, it came together. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Please remember to subscribe.